taking action against de facto arbiter of free speech. Since January 8th, Big Tech has moved to ban President Trump and his supporters. Twitter and Facebook permanently suspended the president's accounts. Meanwhile, Apple and Google removed Parler, a popular social media app seen as an alternative to Twitter, from their respective app stores. Amazon joined in the effort to take down Parler by rescinding web hosting services. Referring to the ongoing censorship wave, Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, and the richest person in the world in January, wrote on Twitter that Big Tech is now the de facto arbiter of free speech. In a statement, President Trump accused Twitter of coordinating with the Democrats and the radical left in removing my account from their platform to silence me and you, the 75 million great patriots who voted for me. Following the permanent ban on President Trump, stock prices of social media and other tech companies plunged. On January 12th, Twitter's stock dropped down 12%, losing $5 billion in market value. Facebook tumbled as much as 4.5%, seeing $34 billion erased from its market cap. Apple, Amazon, and Alphabet, parent company of Google, all shed more than 2%. In the meantime, Signal, Telegram, Gab, SafeChat, and other messaging services or social media companies are gaining a lot of new users. On January 7th, Elon Musk wrote on Twitter suggesting people use Signal instead of WhatsApp that is owned by Facebook. In Florida, Republican Representative Randy Fine wrote a letter to the Florida cabinet members asking Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to order the immediate divestment of any Florida-held equity and debt to Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, Apple, and Alphabet. The Florida representative said if Big Tech can censor the President of the United States, they can censor anyone. He also criticized the fact that world leaders from Iran and elsewhere are allowed to remain active on Twitter despite outrageous and violent statements. These companies allow actual terrorists around the world to use their platforms to target America, Americans, and our allies without as much as a peep. In northwestern Idaho, an internet service provider named Your T1 Wi-Fi will implement firewalls that restrict access to Facebook and Twitter at its customers' requests. Brett Fink, the owner of Your T1 Wi-Fi, told Newsweek that customers had requested that Twitter and Facebook become inaccessible in their households. We have the past couple days been fielding calls from customers voicing the concern that they do not want these sites allowed to be displayed on their internet feed, and that they do not want their children to go to these sites, Your T1 Wi-Fi wrote in an email to its customers. The email also added, "Our company does not believe a website or social networking site has the authority to censor what you see and post and hide information from you, stop you from seeing what your friends and family are posting." The widespread deplatforming of President Trump has broader global consequences. World leaders, including Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, and acting Australian Prime Minister Michael McCormack have condemned that these big tech companies violated free speech protocols and have too much power. Experts say big tech's censorship in the US is forcing other countries to consider developing their own platforms rather than depend on a handful of private US companies that have the ability to cut off communication to millions, thus imposing potential risks to national security.